What's up, Wikimaniacs? On today's school-themed Reddit Readings episode, we have a parent who got reprimanded in school, a student dating their former high school teacher, a teacher that wants to resign from their job, a parent who drove their kid to school, and a heartbreaking tale of the realities of being a teacher. Also, stick around because the boys have a test at the end of this episode. For patrons and YouTube members, we have an engineer who doesn't know how to work a list. Like, subscribe, comment on the show. You get extra credit if you become a patron or YouTube member. Detention if you do nothing. But Reddit on Wiki starts right now.
Get therapy.
I'm not reading.
Get therapy.
What's up, Wikimaniacs, and welcome back to another Reddit Readings episode. I'm your host for today, the Punny Pinoy John. With me, as usual, my handsome boys, Josh and Sean. What's up, fellas?
Hi, I didn't do my homework, Mr. Consignato.
Oh, you're going to have to stay after class, buddy.
Oh, this is how some of your videos
This
start.
is how they start.
I need to graduate. What can I do?
How am I going to get extra credit? What can I do to make it up?
Also, did you say we have a test?
You do have a test at the end.
I don't test well.
Well, me too. I get really bad test anxiety.
I get so stressed out. And then my mind goes blank.
Story of my life. But anything before we start this episode, brother?
Merch.
Anything you want to bring up?
Buy it.
Merch.
Yes.
It's designed by Janelle, our amazing graphic designer at Fat Lip on Instagram. Fat with a PH.
What is it? What does it have, Sean? Describe what the pet merch is.
It's got Kara. It's got Ringo. It's got Chloe and Kevin and Chip and
That internet is so bad right now.
is it? Fuck my life.
It is so bad. It's worse than your original.
This is so upsetting.
All right, but yeah, buy our merch, support us, so that way Sean can get a better laptop, get better internet than the one already has, and so he can quit his corporate job. So, all right, boys. Like I said, today is a school-themed episode, so you guys ready to hop on a story today?
I'm excited for this episode.
Let's go.
Back
all
to
right.
school.
Class is in session.
To school. Absolutely. All right. Story number 1. This is a first time subreddit for me. I've never used it before, but this is from Loose Wayne. It was from Loose Wayne, and the subreddit is from r/older than you think I am.
Okay. I have never heard of this one. I also
Same.
thought when you were like, it's from Loose, and I was like, where the fuck is this going? It's like, what subreddit did John pull this from?
Wait, the subreddit is older than you think?
Yeah, older than you think I am.
So I'm guessing it's like a teacher that looks like a student. That's what I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's hop into it. All right. The title for this one is I Got Reprimanded at My Son's School.
Yeah.
Okay. So not a teacher.
Not a
Even
teacher,
worse.
but you're kind of in the ballpark there, Josh. My son is in high school. I'm normally not very active at his school as I work multiple jobs. It's a huge school, so I don't know all the staff. Well, I drop my son off for school and park and go in because I'm having a morning meeting with 2 of his teachers. We have breakfast together in a quad. The bell rings. Everyone goes to class, and I'm waiting outside the meeting room for the teachers to arrive and unlock it. While I'm waiting, a staff member walks by. They stop, look at me, ask me where I'm supposed to be right now. I say, I'm waiting for teachers' names. He asks for my pass. Now, I'm assuming he's talking about a visitor pass. When I checked in the office, I was not given anything. So I said, I don't have one. Was I supposed to be given one? I can head down to the office and grab it. He pulls out a paper and a pad and starts writing. He asks, what's your first and last name? Then writes it down. Then hands me the carbon copy of the paper and tells me, you can take this to the office, and uses his walkie-talkie to tell them my full name is heading to the office now. I just figured it was a temp pass or something like that.
Oh,
So-
God.
He was so like, he's like, oh, I guess I'm just getting a pass. So I just quickly jog over to the office, probably all happy and shit, thinking I had to check back in. Maybe the office staff was supposed to give me a visitor badge or pass of some kind. I get to the office and hand the slip of paper to the office employee that I check in with initially, and she looks incredibly confused and then starts laughing. He gave me an infraction for being tardy and out of class. Apparently, he sent me to the office for detention for the rest of the period.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Hey, congrats to you.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you must be looking
Really young, yeah.
young. No
Absolutely.
wrinkle marks for you.
When I told the teachers why I was running a little behind on the meeting, they thought it was hilarious. They even called down to the staff member who had written me the infraction to jokingly tell him he can't send parents to detention or else they'll never get their parent meetings done on time.
That's fucking
Nice.
funny. I mean, yeah, like I said, yeah, I would both be a little annoyed, but also a little flattered, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you think I'm young, look young enough? I'm like, hell yeah.
Like, I always think I look like, oh yeah, like I look young. And then I saw like a TikTok of like a woman that was like, I'm 36 and I know I don't look 36. And then all the comments were like, girl, I've never seen a more 36-year-old look. So ever since that comment, I'm like, yeah, I probably look 32. For sure I look 32.
We should one time post our picture together at r/rate me, and then let's just have our confidence destroyed.
Absolutely
Have
not.
you seen what people are doing now? They take a screenshot of their Instagram feed and then ask Chat GPT to roast them.
Oh, we could do
and
that.
they've been going ham on that shit.
Nah,
We can do that.
I'm good. I'm honestly, I like living my life as is. I don't need to be taken down a notch at all.
We could do it.
I have no confidence to begin with, so
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on that one.
oh shit. All right. Well, moving on to the next story. This one is from r/true off my chest, and this one's cross posted by spiritual lower score country lower score 62. The title of this one is I slept with my former high school teacher and have a date with him this weekend. How weird is this?
How old are you? If you're 25,
It's weird either way, I think.
then congrats, I guess. Oh my God. Sorry. Outside, a squirrel jumped from like a tree to a tree and it was awesome. Anyways.
Dude, you got ADHD. I gotta say, that's some shit I would do.
That
I
shit-
couldn't be the one to say it. I knew it.
That shit was sick. That was crazy.
You're spicy brain like me, Mike.
Holy fuck. The branch like shook. I had there's no way I could not look at that.
You probably got it.
That was,
I'm not diagnosing, but you just might.
I think I saw a shirt recently on Twitter and it was like, not diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure.
I scored like a
pretty good.
99% on my shit. So me and Juliet were like, damn, this is like, I'm a true Asian ADHD.
Hell yeah, brother. Almost 100. A
You
plus.
aced that test.
Got that shit.
I was disappointed that I didn't get 100. I was like, fuck, man.
I'd have ADHD and still fail that test.
All right, let's get into the story. So, looking for some input in how weird this is or not. I'm sort of hoping it's not that weird, but it feels pretty weird to me. Hence, why I'm asking strangers online opposed to anyone who knows me. In high school, I had a really great art teacher. He was head of the art department at the private school I went to. Rich motherfucker, I'm looking.
Yeah.
It seems like. There were only a few art teachers, so I was in his class more than once during the 4 years I was there. I really liked him because we had a lot in common as far as the books, music, and movies that we liked.
All right. Yeah, I'm out. That's groom. You should not know your teacher's books and likes and bands and music.
Who is this,
Well-
Ezra? You fucking pretty little liar.
The fact that people like that show confuses me. I'm like, how is everyone not arrested? Everyone's fucking preying on teenagers nonstop in that show.
Yeah, I will say it's not weird if like your teacher is telling the whole class, I like this, like this is my favorite book or this is my favorite movie or like, you know what I mean?
That's
Like
fair.
in an open setting
fair. That's
conversation. But yeah.
If
like,
you're talking to them
that's-
one-on-one and they're telling you my favorite band is, you got to get out of there. I think
Mhm.
some not good stuff might happen.
This isn't a date.
Yeah. I don't need to know that about you.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't know many people who liked the same things I did, and I was sort of obsessed with all my favorite bands and stuff, so to have somebody to talk to about it and debate about it was really cool. He also introduced me to other similar bands and things like that. Note that these conversations were always in the classroom with other students. So to kind of
Okay.
answer that question for you guys, there was never anything inappropriate between us at all. I do remember after a parent-teacher conference night, my mom coming home and telling me all of the nice things he said about me, and that she didn't know if she should let me go in this trip to Europe that he was chaperoning because he maybe liked me too much. So the mom kind of getting a little bit of a warning flag. So,
Yeah, that's a sign.
Jesus. What did he say in the fucking...
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, she's doing
Oh.
great. She's so hot. I mean, she's so smart. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
Like, what could he
What?
have said to just hit those radars off? You know what I mean?
But statements like that were typical for my mother. It's like she just wanted to create gossip, and I sometimes sense she was desperate for me to do something scandalous for reasons I don't understand.
I don't think that's
She's
So
it.
I dated my teacher.
I don't think that's it.
Like, what the fuck are
I'm
we
gonna
talking
stick
about?
it to her by fucking my teacher right now.
Oh, God, I
She's
hope
the
not.
biggest gossip and shit stirrer ever. Anyway, I went on the trip and nothing weird happened. And I guess it's gonna answer your question here, Sean. So I'm 26 now, well past graduation. I've since graduated college. I've thankfully glowed up since then. I ran into him at a local bar and we talked for hours, and then I went home and had sex with him. He was married back when I was a student. He talked about his wife a lot back then. They've since divorced, and he says the main reason is that they were initially a child-free couple by choice, but then he changed his mind and decided he wanted a family, and that was something they could agree on. So, I have an actual date with him tomorrow night. How weird is this? While he definitely remembered me from when I was a student, I feel like I'm meeting him as a different person now. I'm an adult, and I haven't been his student in over 8 years. We haven't been in touch at all since then. Can I treat this just like I would anyone else I just happened to randomly meet and hit it off with? Or is there like a general line that shouldn't be crossed since I was once his student?
I will say this. I do like that, y'all haven't spoken at all since then. But it
Yeah.
still feels weird. I would say
It feels weird.
It
to
still
me.
feels weird. Like I'm trying to find reasons to why it should be okay. And, technically, maybe probably it is, but it feels weird. And I don't know how you could not feel weird about it. I would feel weird about it.
Do we get his age? We never
never
did.
did. We never did.
We never
That-
did. But
Don't love
this
that, but-
story ended up becoming a best of Redditor updates. So there
Oh.
are going to be some relevant information on this. But before that, Josh, is there anything you wanted to add before we get into the updates?
Yeah, I'm with Sean. I'm like, this is icky, but I can't think of a reason why this is wrong necessarily. It definitely feels like it could have been a grooming situation, but with the information we have,
not a ton
far-
of details to see like if that truly happened or not.
Yeah,
But it
Yeah,
is
so
weird
I-
that your mom was like, I think the teacher likes you. And then
That's- Yeah.
and then
a
8
flag
years
for me.
later, your teacher likes you quite a bit.
yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know. It's icky to me.
I think she said it all. She said it kind of said it all in the beginning. Like, I'm sorry. She said, I'm sort of hoping it's not that weird, but it feels pretty weird to me. So
Yeah.
it probably is weird.
Well, if it
then.
feels weird to you, then it's weird.
I just-
why
I
are you
just-
asking internet?
I just feel like if this person, I don't know what age, but thought you were attractive at 18, that's probably just not a great sign that they were attracted to a high schooler. So I think I
Mhm.
would just feel weird off of that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
my mom had a weird red flag, and then turns out that red flag is kind of true because we literally just fucked. And now I feel a little weird about it, right? Sound weird enough to post about it on Reddit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Feels icky.
So I did mention that it did ended up becoming a best of Redditor update. So relevant comments in this story plus an update in the end. So OOP responds to multiple questions on how old the high school teacher is now and if they feel weird now that they are an adult and gets along so well. To OOP then responds, he's 38. So 26 and 38. You've kind of summed up how I feel. Well, I don't feel gross about it personally, but I'm like, will everyone else I know think this is weird? Then I wonder why
Yes.
I'm so concerned with what they think, but I am. So yeah, everyone's going to think it's weird.
Everyone in your life who knows you and knows him will think it's weird.
Mhm.
Your mom definitely is going to say, I told you so, if this relationship definitely progresses.
Mhm.
Yeah, there will be a lot more questions,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and rightfully so.
Mhm.
To continue, they put, I don't think he ever flirted with me. Did I have a bit of a crush on him back then? Sure, but he was always professional. It's not like he gave me special treatment either. He was like that with other students, not just girls, and it was just more of a relaxed atmosphere in his classroom because it was an art class.
Right, there's still that power dynamic though, where you're like,
True.
even if you have a crush on him back then, he still does have that power from what his profession.
Flynn, a user, Flynn lower score JM asked, who asked who for the date? Were you alone at the bar or was he? If not, what did your friends think? So then OOP responds, he asked me for the date, but it was after we'd slept together. Neither of us went to the bar alone. He was there with a friend, and I was there with a guy friend of mine.
Tough break for the guy friend, right?
My friend was ready to head out, and I told him he could go. I only live about 2 minutes from the bar by car, so I just get an Uber. I told him I knew my former teacher, but I didn't tell him exactly how I knew him. He was reluctant to leave at first about my former teacher. Wish I had a better way to assure him that I'm fine. And then you said tough luck for a friend. They also put in parentheses, they had no romantic interest there, just truly just friends who met in college and meet up once or twice a month for a drink.
Okay. They could be completely platonic. I was just making a joke.
Could be. It could be. So then this is kind of like the main update that they provided. So it goes as this. So I recently posted about sleeping with my former high school teacher and got a ton of opinions on whether it was weird or not. We went on an actual date yesterday and it went great. I think we both had a good time and we had plenty to talk about without any of it really being about back then when I was a student. I think that's a really positive sign. He said absolutely nothing about having any sort of interest in me back then, but I didn't expect him to. Because if he did, that would be incredibly
Red
weird.
flag.
That'd be
number
super
one.
weird.
Very much red flag.
You know, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, actually.
my hand's hovering over the illegal button.
He was truly always professional as a teacher. Despite telling myself that I wouldn't sleep with him again right away and that I'd try to take things slower so that we could actually get to know each other, the current versions of each other, not the people we were years ago, the chemistry and physical attraction was too much for me to resist. I went back to his house and we had sex. It was amazing. Like we've been sleeping together for ages and I'm totally comfortable with him and he knows exactly what I like. I very rarely click sexually with a guy so quickly, and it takes a while for me to feel comfortable enough to really fully get into sex and vocalize what I want and need, and for a man to understand what I enjoy. Not the case here. He even put me in my favorite positions without me saying a word, and I didn't even need my mini vibrator to get off like I typically do with partnered sex. I spent the night and we had sex again in the morning, without any awkwardness afterwards, and I can't stop thinking about it or about him. We grabbed coffee near my house and he walked me home since I live very close in this little neighborhood. His birthday is coming up this week and he was planning to go out with a group of friends. He's invited me along. He warned me one of the people is a former teacher from the school I attended, but I never had this teacher and I don't think he'd recognize me at all, even if I still looked exactly the same as when I graduated. This is like Pretty Little Liars, to be honest.
Yeah,
Well,
it is,
except
honestly.
they fucking were dating while they were in school.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
That
True.
show was way worse than what this is so far, in my opinion.
I decided to bite the bullet and just ask him if he thought it was weird at all, based on how we originally met each other. He said it's a little weird if he thinks about it, but he said he probably wouldn't have even recognized me if I hadn't told him who I was. He remembered me when I told him who I was, but he doesn't really see me as the same person. He asked me if I thought it was weird, and I told him not really, but I think other people might think that it is. He said he's past the point of really caring about what others think. I sort of regretted bringing it up because I don't think he was really focused on whether it was weird or not, and I don't think he was really thinking about the past at all. Now I worry I put the idea in his mind that this is weird and he's going to no longer be interested. Now reflecting on it, I think he's telling the truth when he says he doesn't look at me and think of the person I was as a student. I actually think it's me who still sees him as my teacher. He's changed much less than I have, which makes sense since I was a teenager and he was already a full-grown adult. He looks nearly the same as he did 8 years ago, so I look at him and I do see the same person. In my head, I still refer to him as Mr. XYZ. It feels weird for me to call him by his first name or to see him listed in my phone by his first name. So, now I'm realizing maybe this is more of a me problem. It really started to dawn on me after we had sex last night. I wasn't thinking of him as my former teacher at all when we were actually in the act, but afterwards, I went to the bathroom and my immediate internal reaction was, oh my god, I just fucked Mr. XYZ. And who knew Mr. XYZ could fuck like that? Then I realized, oh shit, I'm thinking of him as my teacher. Either way, I want and plan to see him again and go out with him this week. And I just can't see it lasting long term if I can't eventually get used to his first name at the very least. And then some relevant comments as well before we cap it off. OOP on if they still look the same from their high school years and if they were worried they have changed so much, to which everyone kind of downvoted OOP for this comment. They put, no, I don't really look anything like how I looked when I was in high school. One of my best friend's moms even told me she's never known anyone who looked so different from when they were a kid. I didn't think I had changed that much, but looking at pictures of my other friends, she was kind of right. I just mean that it's not that unusual for somebody who I knew during that period of my life to not recognize me at first. It's happened with other people I went to high school with, so it's not that hard to believe he didn't recognize me at first. It's not like he tried to pretend he didn't remember details about me once he knew who I was. He even asked if I was still into some of the specific things I was into back then, and I approached him at the bar, not the other way around. And we kind of already knew what the age gap was, so it is going to be a 12-year age gap. So that's kind of like what the best of Redditor updates was.
Still weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if y'all
You're
make
an
it
adult.
work, then y'all make it work. You know what I mean? Technically legal within the Sean rule.
Yeah,
Sure seems like
even though we
he
wanted
was
it.
waiting for. No, I'm just kidding. Sure seems like he paid attention to the laws there. But yeah, nothing technical. Everything sounds good and okay. But me personally, I think I would just think it was strange. But I am glad that you clocked it. That it might be your own internalized viewing of him.
So on the original post, a lot of the people are commenting, yeah, this is kind of weird. It couldn't be me type of deal. So it's kind of like the same
Yeah.
sentiment as you guys.
I'm just thinking like if I was a teacher and then I ended up being single in my late 30s, could I date one of my previous students? And I'm like, I just don't think I could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that just
Yeah.
feels weird to me.
They kind of knew them like when they were essentially a child. You know?
Yeah,
Which is
you know,
kind of...
like, that's exactly it. So I'm just like, I don't understand the mentality of him being like, oh, I'm okay with this, which is weird to me.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
And to
again,
me too, that
Didn't
would
didn't break the Sean
Yeah.
rule, so I can't say anything other than that.
that would also be kind of weird to me too, because a lot of times, you know, for a lot of some scenarios, teachers can be kind of looked into as like father or mother figures to
Yes.
others. So yes, there might be some power dynamics involved in that too, but to some they look at them in a different light. So if you end up dating someone who probably viewed you as a father figure, that's just morally wrong to me.
Yeah. That's
Which is
fair.
funny because like in the beginning, people were kind of mentioning how it would be weird that they wouldn't go through it. But as the OOP gave the updates, the top comment for this story from I Boop Cat Knows This, and this was been upvoted a lot, and people kind of have the same sentiment and feeling about it. They put, this reads like some bored teacher's fetish post about how good sex he is having with his ex-student.
He's OP all along.
He knows
Yeah.
just the right position I like.
And people were saying that. It was like, you don't really say details about, I don't need to use a mini vibrator anymore to get my rocks off.
yeah, that's
type of
true.
So
That's
people are
true.
speculating that this might be some sort of a fetish post.
A smut,
Oh.
if you will.
A smut,
That
essentially.
makes it so much
Fan
worse.
fan fiction.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess worse than not, because then it means it's not real.
Yeah.
But worse than the fact that some teacher
It's
out there is
fantasizing
thinking
about it.
this.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
gross.
All right. Well, from one, teacher dating another student, I guess we'll go to another story for this one. And this one is from r/true off my chest, posted by Global Lower Score Doubt 2658. The title is I, a male teacher, will be resigning after facing sexism from the administration.
Okay, I'm curious to see what the sexism is.
All right, well, let's get into it. So I, 26 male, will finish my second year of teaching this May. I will also be resigning this May once the semester ends. I teach fifth grade math, and I deal with sexism. Sexism against male teachers. First, to the light stuff. I am treated as an extra maintenance guy in addition to being a teacher. Whenever there needs to be tables moved around or something that needs to be fixed, I'm called to assist. I've even been made to go to Home Depot to get a special bulb a teacher needed for her lamp. And they put in parentheses, because since I'm a male, I apparently am naturally supposed to know my way around hardware store, despite the fact that I've only been to a hardware store about 4 times my entire life. Second, I've been told that I'm not allowed to raise my voice at all. A couple of weeks ago, my class was being extremely disruptive and wouldn't let me teach. So naturally, I raised my voice and said, please be quiet or I will take away stickers. And they put a system I have used to reward good behavior. And at the end of the day, I was called to see the assistant principal and she told me I was never to raise my voice again, that I sound loud and threatening. The thing is, literally every female teacher in the school raises their voice all the time. I've even heard them screaming, yet there's no blanket policy for not raising voice for all the teachers, just for the male teachers apparently. Third, during a staff meeting at school, I and the only other male teacher in the school were singled out and told by the principal that neither of us are allowed to be involved in dress code issues involving female students, such as if a female student is violating the dress code, we can't say anything to them, and we instead have to let a female teacher or one of the assistant principals know so they can talk to them. We, and you put the 2 male teachers, are allowed to talk to the boys and send a note home / call parents regarding the dress code if necessary. Female teachers, however, are allowed to be involved in dress code violations for both boys and girls. Lastly, the administration treats me and other male teachers as potential predators. They constantly remind me that I have to follow special rules being a male teacher, such as if I ever have students after class in my classroom, to have a female teacher present in the room with me. Plus, constant reminders that I'm not allowed to come off as too kind / comforting, no pats on backs, etc. And I understand why and all, but the same rules don't apply to the female teachers. The other male teachers and I have constantly been singled out and told all these things, as if we're inherently bad people because we're male and can't be trusted. Most of the stuff I've listed has happened in the last few months since August, since we've returned to an on-campus teaching. Over Zoom, none of this happened, but I realize now that if I stay, this is what I will have to put up with my entire career. Therefore, I will be resigning and changing professions.
Okay. The first 2 things when he was like the moving desks and stuff, I was like, all right, this is bullshit. And then it got into stuff where I was like, yeah, okay, that's pretty fucked up that rule's only applying to you and the other male teacher. Like, most of these things sounds like it should just be across the board or like, like not gender specific. So yeah, I mean, I would personally take this up with like a union or HR or something like that, because
Superintendent.
Superintendent, whatever it happens to be. Yeah. Because like all you're doing is leaving that culture, because it could just be like the principal or the vice principal that are creating these rules. That's like, you don't want to leave the next person with that. You know what I mean? You want to report that, and then maybe you like maybe you're still done with it and you want to change careers, you might still get like some sort of severance or something out of it from reporting it and making sure the culture is better than when you left it. So yeah, I mean, yes, a lot of that stuff sounds like bullshit and you shouldn't have to deal with that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, but like Josh said, like, all right, well, if a student is alone with a teacher, maybe just always have another teacher in there.
Yeah,
I feel like that shouldn't be like a male,
no matter what
specific
gender.
thing. Like, yeah, like just two adults in there, or like in general, you probably should not be alone with kids that are not yours. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
with any profession or job, you should always have somebody else there. That is strange. The tables, like Josh said, fine. Home Depot, I think I would tell that teacher to figure it out themselves.
could-
I would be
with
like,
that,
yeah,
I was
go
like,
get
you
it
could just
themselves,
say
yes.
yeah,
no.
what the fuck? Yeah. But yeah, the being singled out does suck. It really should be kind of just general, like Josh said, across the board for things. I understand not patting the back or even the what do you call it? Not writing girls up for dress code things. I could see, I could sort of understand that. Like you might want to reach out to like a woman teacher who maybe knows better. What is and what isn't appropriate for school, I guess. Because it definitely could come off as a weird guy thing to be like, what you're wearing is inappropriate. Like I could see that. I could see how that's a thing. And it wouldn't be that difficult to tell, your female coworker, like, hey, what do you think about this? Am I crazy? And then they'll say yes or no, and then they'll write him up if
And vice versa.
yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they shouldn't write boys up, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there is probably a higher hit rate on creepy men than creepy women on the dress code thing. So I could see where that's I see what they're trying to do, and like I appreciate it. The execution I think is way off. I think there's it's just not
because you're right. Like it is a higher rate of probably creepy male teachers, but that doesn't mean you should punish all male teachers,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It should be like
He's
these
still across
these-
the board, no matter what.
These rules across the board to avoid
Mhm.
any like singling out or any, like making anyone feel othered or anything like that. To
Yeah, for sure.
allow for a safe place for the students to learn. You know what I mean? Like that should be the goal.
Mhm.
If anything, the rule should be like you and another teacher need to agree that a student is dressed inappropriately. Any gender, any
or
teacher.
just send them to the office. I don't know, like or like yeah, maybe have like the vice principal and the principal can decide. I have no idea how. Like
Well,
what
I could just see.
process
I
with
could just
that.
see how it's weird if a guy is like, "What you're wearing is inappropriate." Maybe that's just my
Yeah.
weird internalized thing, or like hearing complaints from like when I was in school from my friends that were girls. So
For sure.
I could see how that's strange. I see what they're trying to accomplish. But yeah, there's got to be a better way than like singling out during a whole entire teacher meeting. Like that's got to feel shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then all your coworkers
Top
are like,
comment.
"Yeah, that guy is creepy, huh?" Like,
Creepy.
What? I didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
So the comments here are surprisingly wholesome and like, in solidarity with OP, and this was
I
a
thought you were
top.
gonna-
Oh,
I thought you were gonna be like,
flaming him
they
to
all
bits.
disagree
No,
with you too.
I,
It's like,
No.
I think what I
they're
was
all
saying is
solidarity with
definitely the hot take is what I'm by not fully agreeing. Just because
oh,
yeah, because I feel like most people would hear that and be like, "That's fucked up," and I do agree it's fucked up. The execution's not good, but I see what they were trying to do.
Yeah. And so the top comment, Okami Chameleon commented, definitely talk to your union before you resign. And that's also one of my advice as well, Josh.
Mhm.
Some,
it.
some of my favorite teachers growing up were the male teachers, especially since I didn't have a dad at home. Having a strong male figure somewhere in my life was helpful in so many ways. Please don't let this discourage you from teaching. You sound like a pretty awesome teacher. So that's kind of where I wanted to go as well. If possible, not all school districts have unions, but if a union is present in your district, definitely bring it up. A superintendent of some sort. I also don't feel like this is the case for all schools, right?
No.
And
No.
this particular place they worked at, it just wasn't a great environment. So I feel like it's one of those situations where environment really does play a huge factor. And I think OP has all the right in the world to feel how they feel and seek other opportunities. That's their own volition to do that. But I also think that if they're willing to give teaching another go, because one, teachers are incredibly rare nowadays. There's such a shortage in teachers.
They deal with so much shit, and that's
so
like
much
all
shit.
this on top of it. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not going to do this for the amount I get fucking paid.
Yeah.
Like, I understand OP,
Yeah.
where OP is coming from.
Yeah, and you know they're so important to like to society, and then they just keep getting fucked over, like what you mentioned, Josh. And you know, I feel that it feels like this teacher wants to keep going. This just isn't the home for them right now. So if there's a possibility to transfer or seek opportunities in another district, try it out again. And if it still persists, then I definitely think about changing careers. But
Yeah.
I'd still try. You know, teaching is hard. It takes a special person to be able to, you know, teach, and it takes a lot of patience to be able to get to that. They went through a lot of schooling just to get treated like shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like,
and paid not enough to pay for
not
their
enough,
schooling.
not enough. So
And I
yeah.
will say, so here's the differentiating of male teachers. I've had some amazing male teachers in my like high school career, like some soccer coaches, like teachers that coach soccer, and like went to them for anything. You know what I mean? Like those kind of teachers. And then you got on the other side of the spectrum, one of Sienna's male teachers was a predator. So it's like,
Yikes.
it's like, there's a spectrum. But the good teachers shouldn't be treated like predators is my point in all of this. The rules should be across the board so that the predators can't get through and do what they want. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. All right. Well, moving on to the next story. This one is from Sean's favorite subreddit. Today I fucked up, and is posted by Old Mama Speaks. The title of this story is Today I fucked up the first day back to school.
Oh, there's so many ways this could go. And none of them are good.
None of them are good. I have a high school senior that I have to drive to school. It takes about 20 minutes to get him there, but the drive is a straight shot. He spent the break staying up ridiculous hours and destroying his sleep pattern, as teenagers are prone to do. I agree.
Yeah. I bet there's teenagers recovering as this episode's coming out from their
Oh,
summer.
yeah.
I never truly recovered. I go at my sleep schedule is shit.
You see these bags?
Yeah.
That's
You
from when I was 18.
telling me.
These are
Guy who
earned.
sleeps like, yep, this is my badge of honor. Last night, I reminded him to go to bed at a decent time because school was starting. This morning, I realized he was not up when he should have been, so I called and woke him up. He sounded so tired and out of it, but he got up, showered, and we left for school. He spends the ride in the back seat, nodding off and yawning while leaving product all over my window. I dropped him outside the school and started driving back home. Because of the way his school is set up, I may or may not see other parents or kids when I drop him off. But everything was normal. Same shit,
Oh no.
different year. I get about 8 miles down the road and realize he is calling me. The sound was down on my phone, so it took a minute, and by the time I answered, it had disconnected. So I call him back. I figured his glasses are in the car or something. He said I needed to come back. I asked why, ready to lecture him on responsibility. Turns out school starts tomorrow, and he had called me 3 times. He was standing out there about 20 minutes before I got back.
Hey, good practice, Ron.
Hey, you got it though.
I knew that's what it was going to be as soon as she drove off. I was like, this is not the first day of school, is it?
Different Eggplant 40 commented, LOL, when I was like 8, my mom forgot that MLK Day was a holiday and insisted we miss the bus. She was so upset she had to drive us to school, only to find the school was closed. Then she drove us back home in silence. We laugh about it now, but she would have been on time for work, and had we all realized we didn't actually have school that day. To which Oof Ow My Bones 120 commented, my mom forced me to go to school on President's Day because I wasn't a president. Said it wasn't my day to take off.
What'd you
enough.
do all day?
Oh shit!
That was like when we had snow days. My parents would still take us to school because they like you still can go. It's just the buses aren't running,
Oh,
and so then it's just like a bunch of kids that you just. It's basically like all day recess, basically. So it's pretty sick.
I was
But
gonna say, do the teachers still show up?
yeah, the teachers are supposed to unless they can't. But yeah, it's there's usually a couple teachers that watch
Yeah.
the kids that
I
come.
remember my senior year, we had a snow day. It was the sickest, and it was like an inch of snow.
Oh,
Jesus
We're like,
Christ.
holy shit, this is crazy. A white Christmas.
oh man, it was funny because one of my best friends, one of the brotherhood guys over here, he's actually just recently separated from military, so he's going back to school. Going back to school now. So his school starts supposed to be today. But he texted us last week. It's like, oh my God, guys, first day of class. Like, you know, it's my first time going to campus. Like, I'm pretty excited. We're like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Like, hell yeah, go get your bag. We're excited for you. Like, congratulations and this shit, right? And then he texted us. He was like, oh, damn, school doesn't start till next week. So we started bullying the shit out of him in the comments. It was like 20, like, I want to say it was like 200 texts
God
of him just
damn.
flaming the fuck out of him. We were just like, damn, this fool is about to get beat up at school. And we are just like, man, I bet you this fool like set his clothes the night before just because of how excited he was. Like, we were going off on his ass.
I like
And
how it turned from immediate like positive reinforcement to you're an idiot.
we were like, damn, bro, you're a dumbass. You're gonna fucking fail all your classes because you're an idiot.
If you can't roast your friends, are you really friends?
They're not really
Yeah.
a friend.
Who can you roast? That's exactly it.
But and then he texted us like yesterday, and he was like, guys, for real, my first day of school, and we were still flaming the fuck out of it.
Are you sure? Double
Make
check.
sure.
It's like, are you in the right class, you dumbass? Oh shit! All right. Well, last story of the day before we get to our game, our test for today,
Ooh.
and this one
Oh,
is
yeah.
from r/true off my chest, and I gotta say, this might be me because the username is the shortest Avenger.
Whoa.
Yeah. And the title is I'm a teacher and I can't save them all. And I gotta say, this one's kind of sad.
I was going to say it sounds sad.
sad. We're ending on a
Jesus.
downer.
We're ending on a downer, baby.
Well, we're ending on a test, which is a
Which is
downer.
even
Even
worse.
more of a downer. So it goes as this. I'm a high school English teacher. This is my third year teaching. One of the things I hate most about my job is the pressure teachers feel every day to save every one of their students. I have students whose parents are in immigration detention centers. I cannot fix the immigration crisis. I have students who come from extremely impoverished homes. I cannot fix systemic poverty, homelessness, or hunger. I have students with severe, violent mental health disorders, eating disorders, and chronic health problems. I am not a health professional, and I cannot fix them. I see so much pain and read about so much trauma in my students' writing. I can't fix it. I can't make it better. I can't mold their lives into something different. I can't change their habits or personalities. And because of all this I can't change, I often feel utterly useless. I wonder why I'm bothering to teach my students what a predicate is when they have much bigger fish to fry. What's brought this on tonight is my struggle with a particular girl in my class. She is so angry at the world. Out of the womb that way, as another teacher put it. She completely ignores me, refuses to look at me, won't accept my help, horribly aggressive every time she speaks to me. Of course, my first concern with her is that she's rude to me. She makes me angry. Later, though, when I've been apart from this situation for a few days, my thoughts turn to her future. How will she keep a job, find a supportive partner, raise healthy, happy kids? Basically, find fulfillment in life. I can't help her, and that is why I'll remember her. So, people of Reddit with hard, often sad jobs, how do you find purpose in a job where you so often fall short on making any real difference?
Oof.
Yeah, this is like why we need to fund systems that support the kids that, you know, not every teacher can help, right?
Mhm.
You need systems in place that will help those kids, like food programs or mental health programs or, you know, like things like that, so that it helps the kids not have to worry about that stuff outside of school and they can just focus on learning and the teachers can focus on teaching. I will say, like, as a people who work online and deal with, negative comments occasionally, I understand. It's like you focus on those, but then you forget about all the positive comments you also get, like that are 10 times the amount of the negative ones. And so like,
Humble
look at it.
brag. Jeez.
I meant all of us as a collective. But like,
This coming from a guy who only shows out his own goddamn Venmo, right?
Yeah.
We made it a bit. We've agreed it's a bit.
But for this teacher, like, focus on the kids that like have found improvement in your class, because I can guarantee you it's way more than you are thinking it is, and you're just focusing on the ones that you feel like you have let down. Like I don't know if you're a high school teacher or an elementary school teacher, but you're going to have anywhere from 30 to 90 students every semester, and so it's like you got to focus on the positive ones, to not let it weigh on you that much. And this is coming from someone who admittedly could never be a teacher. So I respect teachers. It's not something I could ever do. So
I think this is kind of, and like OP said at the end, it's kind of like any job where service is like the main thing, like teaching is a service, working in a healthcare is a service, things like that. And it reminded me of like Scrubs. Everything reminds me of Scrubs. It's the greatest show of all time. And like, there's like an episode season.
Let's never talk about that last season, please.
That doesn't count. The show ended at season 8, I think, right? Season 7, whatever
Something
the one
like
is before. JD is not the main character.
like Game of Thrones.
Last season doesn't count. In fact, I have a box set and it does not include the last season. That's how much. But anyways, there's like season 1 where like JD has like 2 patients die on him or something like that. And then like he gets in a deep depression, and then Dr. Cox, his mentor, gives him a big speech, essentially saying what Josh said. Like, if you don't learn how to like live with the L's, like you're forgetting like how many people you are saving and how many people you are helping out. And, you're not going to survive in that job if you, only focus on the negative things. You got to remember all the positives that you're doing. And, you're a teacher. You're making a huge impact in people's lives, whether you feel it or not. The kids will remember you. And if they don't remember you, I'm sure you've taught them something along the way. I mean, I don't remember every single one of my teachers, but I'm 1,000% positive I'm the person I am today, positive or negative, from, what they did. Like, we spend more time with our teachers than we do family. Definitely cousins, I think. You know what I mean? Like, so it's you're making a huge difference whether you know it or not. Yeah, there's a lot of teachers in my mind that come to mind when I think about, a lot of life lessons I've had. And you just got to remember that. Otherwise, you're not going to survive, unfortunately, in any kind of service job like that.
Yeah. And this kind of like makes me remember the brief time that I kind of dabbled in social work. So when I did social work, I was responsible for a program called the WIOA. I forgot what the acronym was, but basically I served individuals who are like 18 to 24 years old to help them get job experience. So work experience program was a program that I run back then. And basically, I helped them out with like the resume writing, like interview prep, like how to present themselves in like a setting. And also what I did was I also partnered up with a lot of like local businesses and help them get experience, help them get some internships and experience. And this was like state funded, and it was, I want to say it's a national funded or state funded opportunities. And there was so many instances where I got, like kids like interviews and able to get them to like an internship. And there were so many instances where they got fired, they got yelled at, or they yelled at like customers, or they did something unsavory, stole, did all this stuff, right? And they come from like impoverished families. They don't have all the opportunities. And I took that to heart so much. The whole reason why I only lasted about like 8-9 months in social work is because it was so mentally taxing, but I will always remember the one or two success stories that I've had. I've had one kid who was able to intern with a congresswoman, and they ended up being like, ended up getting internship for them to move to Washington D.C. at some point, and they became a success story.
And that person is Kamala Harris.
That would be hilarious, right? So that was one
John
thing.
is
I've had
old
one
as
instance-
fuck.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah. And then there was like one instance where like, a kid told me like, they had a teenage pregnancy and they were not able to get away from like their household and didn't have any essential care. But, them being put in a situation where they can take care of their kid was like a big deal for them, right? Just getting the opportunities. And I'm not saying like this to like brag or anything, but it's kind of a way saying like what Josh already mentioned, that there and what Sean's mentioning as well, even though right now it doesn't seem like you made an impact on somebody's life, even if you were just there for them at that moment where they're at their very lowest point, and you say one magical thing to them that made them think differently at that time where they were struggling, you switch that person's life course without you even knowing it. So, and being a teacher is such an unselfish thing. And we already kind of talked about it a little bit. They don't have all the resources that they need to succeed. And yet they expect, and yet everyone expects them to do this magical job of taking care of their kid and setting them up for success. And they're so underfunded and underappreciated that, there's a lot of burnout. We see a lot of teachers don't even make it past certain stages because it's a lot, and we don't blame anyone for not wanting to do that. So it's rough, and I feel for teachers. A lot of respect for them, like what Sean said as well. There's so many teachers in my life that played a pivotal role to who I am now. So, so I guess moral of the story: if you got a teacher that made an impact in your life, if you have some sort of contact with them, thank them.
And you might just sleep with them. Whoa. What?
Nope.
No, were we not connecting? Or we're not doing a full circle?
No, that's
Moment.
not the
That's not what we were
connection
trying to
this
do.
one.
Oh, I thought.
If they have if they have the same interests as you, maybe.
As long as you're 26, sleep with your.
Well, top comment, and this
That's
one.
not the moral. I don't want to do the moral of today's
moral of
episode.
today's
we have to
episode
say
is-
something stupid.
Once you're 26, go for it.
You're good to go.
Go for it.
Get that detention center if you know what I'm talking about. But the top comment for this post by Seiko Aki put, you might not be able to save anyone, but you can be a positive safe haven / light for them. You can't save everyone. You can't always give someone something that'll make their issues disappear. But you can be a kind soul that they'll remember and use as a hope for when things get hard. People always remember those who were kind to them during hardships. Let them know you're there for them if they need someone to talk to. You're just there to help. Tell them you care. Ask them how they are if you can. Little things like this may not seem like a lot, but it can mean the world to someone who feels alone.
100%.
Which was beautifully said. And before we end that note, actually, we should end that note. But boys, are you ready to take a test right now?
I've never ever been ready to take a test.
Never.
Since we have a school themed episode, and I figured we kind of play an interactive game with each other as well as the fans as well.
Are you smarter
you
than
know
a
how
fifth
we-
grader?
You got that right. You
I
know how we
know.
always
It
claim.
isn't.
You know how
I
we
knew
claim
it.
that we're just three dumbasses, right? Well, we're actually going to put that
no.
to the test.
I
my
know
boy.
it.
So we are going to play Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
All right, give us your best Jeff Foxworthy.
I don't even know how he sounds like.
You might be a redneck.
There you go.
There you go. Nailed it.
Thank you.
10 questions,
10. Fuck.
and we'll see how it goes. Winner gets something, praise, adoration, whatever.
Okay.
All right. First question. What is a process of water turning into into vapor called?
Oh, evaporation.
Ding, ding, ding. 1 point, Sean.
Fifth graders are fucking dumb, bro.
All right, Sean. This is especially for you then. What is the capital of Australia?
Who cares? Brisbane.
Sydney.
What is it?
Melbourne,
Sydney.
actually.
Wrong. Both of you are wrong. It's Canberra.
Okay, and who fucking cares?
Okay.
When have
Well,
I used that in my adult life? Actually, take that out of the curriculum.
Yeah.
Capital of
The capital
Australia,
of Australia
is shrimp on the bobby.
I knew you were gonna say that shit. Clipping that as a quote of the day. On the periodic table, which element is represented by the letter N?
Neon.
No, that's Ne. Nitrogen. Is this a trick?
Good job,
Nickel.
Sean. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh.
Sean's on fire.
A lot of these are science.
These kids are dumb, actually.
so-
Geography, I'm bad at. I'm bad at geography. I didn't know where Gibraltar was, brother.
It's fine. I haven't got any of these questions right.
All right. So, what is the plural word? What is the plural form of the word deer?
I want to say deer.
Dear.
You are both correct.
Yeah, that's right.
What is the clinical name for the thigh bone?
Oh, shit.
Fibia.
Yeah, I know it ends with an Ia. Yeah, I'll go with fibia.
And it is wrong. Wikimaniacs,
Humerus.
please comment below. What do you think that? Nope.
What the fuck is in there?
Humerus is your elbow, right?
Bitch, I don't know.
Isn't it?
Bitch, I got no clue.
I don't know. enough
Femur.
bones.
Okay, Wikimaniacs can add. Yes.
Oh, I think it is femur. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
Sean got that right.
Hey, third try, baby.
Hell yeah. I don't think that counts in the show, but who cares?
Okay.
All right. Number 6. What country has the longest border with the United States?
Gotta
Canada.
be Canada.
Of course, a Canadian would get it. Which one of these is a mammal? Seahorse, sea lion, or a sea urchin?
Sea lion.
There you go. What ancient civilization built the Machu Picchu complex in Peru?
Aztec.
Mayans.
Nope. That's
Or
more in
Mayans.
Mexico.
Oh,
Nope.
Mayans.
Nope.
shit.
They have a famous soda.
Fucking Coke.
No.
Is this what Dr. Pepper is from? The great Dr. Pepper?
From
Sprite? I
Waco?
don't know.
The Waco cloud civilization?
Waco?
Shit.
No.
Okay. Popular
RC
soda, orange, Sprite,
Pepsi.
Coke, Mountain
It's
Dew,
I think
international soda, though.
Royal, RC Royal,
Sarsi.
You're throwing me off with this.
international soda.
I don't
You
know.
guys give up?
We're not well traveled,
so.
as you can see.
It's Incas. So Inca Cola.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. The Statue of Liberty was a gift to the U.S. from which country?
France.
There you go. And last question. What is the largest and deepest ocean in the world?
Pacific.
Yeah.
Y'all got that right.
Yeah.
See, you guys didn't do too bad on
Yeah.
that test.
Fifth graders ain't shit.
I gotta say, Sean is kind of smarter than a fifth grader.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Surprisingly so. If we got any teachers
I
out
was
here,
looking
play
up-
this to your class. Play this to your fifth grade class. You guys ain't shit, actually. You guys are kind of dumb, really.
Watch
some
me get
kid got
invited
10
to a
out of 10.
show.
I get fucking tomatoes thrown at me by thousands of fifth graders. I deserve it.
Oh, all right, Sean, hit him with that. Or one of you guys sing a song.
A song.
I'm not
Yeah, for a
smarter
Patreon.
than
Oh, yeah.
fifth grader.
But I am.
All right. Well, that is it for today's episode. But before we close it off, boys, anything you want to bring up?
Yeah, I got some merch messages from
Ooh.
August. The Decorum drop.
Ooh, let's go.
So, first one we got from Cheryl says, I subscribe to 300 podcasts. I financially support 3, including you guys. Keep up the great work.
What an honor to be part of that 3.
Yeah, what's the percentage on that? Quick, Sean.
33.33% of their support budget.
That's not correct.
Is that?
Oh,
Wait, you said one of 3?
they're subscribed to 300 podcasts. but
300. Oh, I heard 3.
But
Yeah.
only supports 3 financially.
They only support 3. I was
Oh.
like, that's way
Yeah.
off.
Wait, so they only
1%?
support 3, right? Wait, what happened? I'm confused.
I'm
It's
too
okay.
upset
It's fine. It's
to do
1%.
math. Isn't that your coach?
John was correct. It was it was 1%.
But I said of their support budget. If they're only financially supporting 3,
I understand
then what I
you went
said
for. Yes,
was
yes, yes.
true. Don't try to fucking excuse me, sir. You know who you're talking to? I'm smarter than a
I'm smarter than a
goddamn
fifth
fifth grader, actually.
Right. How could I question you? Next one from Katinka says, thank you for supporting Operation Olive Branch and being on the right side of history.
Oh, yeah.
Least we could do.
Allison says, we'll definitely be using my decorum mug at work during meetings.
Nice.
Congratulations on 3 years and to many more.
Ooh, thank you so
Ooh.
much.
Excited.
Thank you, Allison.
Christina says, congratulations on 3 years. Love you guys.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Christina.
Right back at you.
Holly said, I finally just signed up to be a rich on Patreon and wanted to help Sean leave corporate hell. Love you guys.
Thanks,
Love
y'all.
you.
Sean. People are looking out for you. They also sent $3 along with their
Ooh.
purchase.
Q.
Louise or Louis, I'm not sure exactly, but they say, thank you for making me feel better about my life or question it. LOL.
Oh, no.
Love you all. XO.
Ooh,
So,
that last story, you might be questioning it again.
true. Amy says, I stumbled upon your channel a little over a year ago and I absolutely love it. You guys are hilarious and self-aware. Keep it up. Clapping emoji. And they send $10 along with their decorum purchase.
I'm AI,
Thank you.
so I am self-aware.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
We've met him. We know he's not.
Yeah.
Alyssa said, getting a hoodie to support the show. Love the judge style episodes and hope there will be more. Keep up the great work, guys. And they send along $3 donation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we legally have to do more judge episodes.
Wow.
Legally.
He says this. Oh, wait. Maybe I don't want to shout this out in case it's not that first. I'll blank out your name. They say this mug will be my birthday gift for my friend that got me into the show. Big thanks to all that you guys do.
Nice.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
bleep your name just because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But they also send $3
Thank
along
you.
with that.
Thank you.
And finally, Lauren said, y'all make my week every week. Gonna rock this all winter. And they bought a nice decorum cropped hoodie.
Ooh.
Nice.
So hell yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, if you want merch messages read on the show, you can leave a little message whenever you purchase something from our store, which at the moment has our pet merch. So go check it out on redditonwikishop.com
Pet
to
merch.
support the boys.
Mhm.
Yes. Shout out to Sean for that decorum idea, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Oh, stop it.
For most of our shirt ideas.
Get me out of corporate
Anything
life.
else? Anything else? Sean, anything you want to bring up?
No, that's it. Just buy merch to get me out.
Hell yeah.
Or subscribe for Tuesday episodes.
Wow.
We love those.
Crazy to bring that up right now. Insane.
Yeah.
We should just make a Tuesday shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that would look at Sean. He would be pissed.
Yours is in my head.
No, what we
Like,
can have, Josh, is like, you know, the Step Brothers picture, just us on a Tuesday. That'd be
yeah.
great.
All
Let's
right,
do that.
We'll
thanks.
talk
I'll see
about
you
that. We'll
guys.
talk about that
I'll
offline.
see you guys.
No, I was fucking with you, Sean. We would never do that to you. But thank you again,
might.
Wikimania. Shh, don't tell him that.
I'm changing the login on their fucking merch store.
Hey, Josh, beat him to it because otherwise he'll forget.
Yeah, true. We'll both forget.
Well, that's it for this week, Wikimaniacs. We'll see you this Friday for another Am I the Asshole episode. Till then, any call to action?
Oh, tell us a story about a good teacher you've had.
Yeah, just
Ooh,
name your
yes.
favorite teacher. And if you have time, write a nice story.
Sure, that's better.
If you want an unhinged one, tell me a teacher that you would.
No? Okay, bye.
Jesus Christ.
Bye.
Get therapy.